Hey everybody, it's Athena. We're here at Athena After Dark. Thanks for viewing. Athena After Dark is presented by Vagabond Chopper. I hope everybody had a great little sabbatical. We were busy in Sturgis. Shout outs to everybody that we got to see. Tonight's show, 5 Good Things, home of the 5 Good Things. You know, it's always better to put 5 good things in front of anything bad that's bothering you. So remember, when times are hard, let's just do our 5 good things. So yeah, we had fun in Sturgis. I was away. I got to work with Source magazine and see a lot of friends and family. It was super cool. We enjoyed a lot of good stuff. Actually, we did the Run to the Line. We did the Source show. We did let's see, Black Hills Boogie. We did the Biker Bells. That's Black Hills Boogie. That was on the pool deck. That was a disco night, Thursday night. Source does it every year. It was super cool. That's a picture of me and Billy at the Biker Bells. He stopped by. He gave an internship to a young lady of their choice, so that was super cool. We got to see Christine Summer Simmons. We gave her an award. There's the Biker Olympics. That was cool. That was definitely something you got to do when you're in Sturgis. And yeah, Biker Bells there. That's Chris Summer Simmons. She got the Nancy Davidson Award. Laura Clock, myself, Miss Karen Davidson, and Tony Woodruff. We got to present her award. It was super cool. I enjoyed that. That was one of my favorites in Sturgis. And it was hot. Boy, howdy, was it hot. Let's see. We have proof of that one. Okay, so yeah, that was with the air conditioner on in the truck. It was 123 degrees Fahrenheit. Everybody notices I'm sitting in the chair. Look, no hands. I have thing one. I'm going to get thing two. This is Greg, thing one. We'll give him a nickname once we get thing two. We're going to keep it going there. We did get a chance to hang out with the Source family. That was super cool. We enjoyed that. Chris Callan, that was, he's always fun. His lovely wife, Heather. So yeah, let's get into some good stuff. We did do the Baker Burnout drags. That was something you have to do. The itinerary, if you follow from Source magazine during Sturgis, it's really, really amazing. A lot of good stuff. Then we went to the Lichter exhibit. That was fantastic. The builders that he had this year were exceptional. And I'm really, really proud of a lot of people that I've met and people that I know that were in that exhibit. That was, how does they say, totally rad? I'm using new words. Okay. I have these little earbuds in tonight, so we're going to see how they work out. Everything's echoing in my ear. Smoke Out, September 9th through 11th. Be there. It is going to be the best party. 22 years, put on by Source magazine. So it's going to be really, really cool. They have the legacy builders. They have so much fun going on there, camping, and we're just going to have a really, really, really good time. I'm excited. I get to be on staff there and help. So, I like to be out with everybody and talk and chat and, hey, how you doing? So, all right. So let's get on with it. All right. So tonight we're going to do the fan 5 good things. Tonight we have Joey. Joey is from Coppic, Iowa. And he says he bought his first Harley Davidson this week. It was a 2022 FXLR ST. That's so awesome. Now, the reason I picked this one, even though I got it a few weeks ago, sorry, Joey, I was getting ready for Sturgis. I just did a review on this motorcycle. I got to ride it in Sturgis. It was absolutely, absolutely fantastic. I was so surprised. The power in the 117 was really good. You had to be very mindful, again, about your speed. Yeah. Overall, the saddlebags were really neat. Everything about the bike, it powered well, it handled well, it cornered well. My son is going to absolutely probably trade in his Softail for one of these. So, Joey, I'm glad you got that. And I think there's a picture. We have a picture. Thing one's going to push the picture on the button with me in front of the Sturgis sign. That one there. Here you go. That's too cool. That picture. So, yeah, that bike is really neat. I don't know what color you got, but I really enjoyed it. It's handled super well. It was hard to get rid of, used to the fixed fairing, and the rear brake was a little bit not so um, it didn't catch so fast. It wasn't so responsive, which is the word I'm looking for. Sorry, everybody. I am exhausted from Sturgis. It was really, really hot. We did have a good time, though. Michael and Andrea, we got married on our motorcycles in Las Vegas last month. That's really, really cool. Congratulations. And again, send pictures. I know a couple people sent pictures, but I have to figure out how to get them up there. Again, thing one, that's what he's going to come in handy for. You got to stick your face in there again, Greg. Yay, thing one. There we go. Okay. So, let's see. Fanny from Birmingham, Alabama. Last month I learned how to kickstart my husband's pan head. That is really, really good. I'm not sure how long you've been riding, but we had Miss Sharon. She did that on the Chicks on 66 ride. She actually kickstarted her pan head. We all cheered. Some of us cried. We were very proud of her. So, Miss Sharon, if you're watching, I'm thinking of you, especially because of that question. I hope you're doing well. Okay, Betty from Homestead, Florida. Oh, the hometown crowd. Following you through Chicks on 66 ride inspired me to plan a trip of my own. Very good. That's what we want. We want everyone to inspire each other. It doesn't matter, gender aside. We want everybody to get out there and ride your motorcycles. Don't think about it. Just do it. If you always wanted to go somewhere, pick the right time of year, pack your rain suit, get your gear. And if you have any questions, you feel free to let us know. We'll answer and give you any kind of insight we can from our experience. We had a good time on that trip. All the women were super prepared. They listened to everything that Miss Gypsy and I had to say, and a few others. They went back and forth through the group chat and everything like that on Facebook. And I have to say, kudos, very much so. Some guys would be jealous about that because those girls rocked it for sure. All right, and then we have Jill from Roanoke, Virginia. Says, I signed up for a motorcycle maintenance course at the community college today. Again, I got this about 2 weeks ago. I apologize. I was in Sturgis and getting ready. Jill, good for you. Anything you could do to maintain your motorcycle. Safety issues, please make sure that you consult a technician, someone who's trained in what you're doing. That's absolutely the best way to do it, to make sure you're safe and you can ride many, many miles up the road. All right. So now we have the Ask Athena segment. This is definitely a question that I wasn't expecting, but I said, okay. Some of them were a little too deep to get into after being exhausted from Sturgis. So I'll get some of those next week and check them out. So the question is from Dave G in Austin, Texas. Dave says, do you ever ride anything other than a Harley-Davidson motorcycle? Well, Dave, personally, I prefer a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. I've had others try to convince me. I've ridden Victories. I haven't ridden an Indian yet. I'm interested to try that. I've tried some European brands, and I'm not so much a fan. I am a Harley-Davidson girl, and that was my first tattoo on my butt cheek. And my first old man said, you look like an advertisement for Harley-Davidson. So I went the next day to the tattoo shop, and I put a banner around it that said, till death do us part. So if that answers your question about Harley-Davidson, yeah, 1903 to 2023, I'm in, and I'm a fan of the new bikes for sure. Got to have one of those in the barn, in the stable. So, all right. Well, so then we're going to go next to our cultural corner. This one's a favorite of mine. And it's probably because the author himself, I've been a fan forever. And that's Keith Ball, K. Randall Ball. That is Bandit, as some of us know him. This book, Prized Possession, is something that is, I have to say, I enjoyed reading it. I've read it a number of times, so I pulled it off the shelf and I wanted to share it with everybody. The book is definitely real biker fiction novel and motorcycle fiction at its best. If you like mayhem, sex, suspense, all of it, this is a book that will take you on the ride of a lifetime. So it is definitely something. It's like from the perspective of an outlaw biker. So you have to put on your big boy pants or your big girl panties and, kind of imagine it up in a whole way deeper than a, motorcycle television show can bring you. So that's my pick of the week. I love it. So Mr. Bandit, if you're watching, Anybody else too, if you're not familiar, Sam Chopper Orwell, he has a line. Bandit has a Mr. Ball, Keith Ball has a line of books that are fantastic. And look, I'm at a loss for words. I'm probably blushing because, yeah, I'm a fan. Okay, so my product of the week doesn't have a picture, but we're going to talk about it, okay? Ziploc bags. Anybody that knows anything about home life, shop life, motorcycle life, Ziploc bags work for everything. I only talk about the stuff that I like. So this week, I'm a fan of Ziploc bags. I'll tell you, I traveled to Sturgis. I had to fly out there, and it was absolutely annoying because I had some liquid stuff in a cheap bag and then some liquid stuff in a good Ziploc bag. Needless to say, the only mess was the cheap bag. So buy the good stuff. Don't hesitate. And yeah, I'm a fan. I support the products I like. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next segment. Yay, we're getting to the good stuff. We're gonna have fun with this one because our guest tonight is a badass. I absolutely love her. We met on the Chicks on 66 ride, and I swear, I just like sharing time with her. So, and I'm gonna just tell you straight up. So she's a rider, racer, she's a wife, she's a mom. She is a fantastic friend. And overall, she is just a badass. This woman is amazing. She rides, she races. She doesn't just ride. She rode Chicks on 66 on, I think it was a 1946 Knucklehead, and no complaints, no nothing. She just rode and rode. She lined up the day that we were getting ready to leave. She's like, okay, I'll go. Just throwing the seat of her pants. So we're going to bring in Miss Jenny Bass of Bass Cycle. All right. She's coming in now. Hi, Miss Jenny. Let me hear you. Can I hear you there?
Can I hear you?
I hear you. All right. I got you there.
Yay.
Okay. Cool.
How you doing, beautiful?
Good. I'm so excited. We got to hang out in Sturgis, so that was too much fun. It was like a reunion. And
so cool seeing familiar faces. I love it.
Oh, and the things that you did out there, it's just crazy. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to start out with a couple of photos before we get into the questions, because we have some good ones. So there's a picture of you and Eric at Twin Arrows on Chicks on 66. It's too funny because people might look at the picture and say, what are you talking about? But one of the arrows had fallen, right? And it was laying on the ground. So we were laughing and joking because it was only half a stop. It wasn't a full tourist stop there. It was pretty good. And yeah, so we're going to scroll through. There's some more pictures from the Chicks on 66. There's you and Miss Ellie. That was in Chicago the first night. She had so much fun. I loved riding with her. She's fantastic. And we have you guys. This is my favorite one of you guys, though. In the gas station, that's all the vintage riders. Jenny the badass. She's in the front, leader of the pack. Like, I'm doing it. We have Eric too. Eric had to come carry. This is what he looked like halfway. That's what being around 40 women will do to you for sure.
I forgot.
He has got the patience of a saint. I absolutely love and adore your husband. You guys are just perfect. It's wonderful. He is a good man. So we're going to talk about what you got going on, but I want everybody to know you're racing, what you do. You just in Sturgis, you just impressed me even more because I'm even a bigger fan. This woman went up the hill, the Jackpine Gypsy Hill. How was that?
Oh my God, it was wild. Oh my gosh. We did all sorts of fun stuff. So from back in all of we always like do our research and we look at old magazines and we're always looking to study and see what were people doing back when it was new and they could just cut shit up and like make things fun. And we would always hear about hair scrambles and
oh yeah,
like what is that? And all of a sudden one happened and we kind of got invited like, hey, we're doing one. We're like, well, do you want to join? I don't know. Do you want to join? Like, we're not doing anything else. So I'm in the chute and everybody is looking at my bike thinking that thing's never going to make it around the block, let alone whatever. And I have to tell them, I'm like, no, I just got back from Chicks on 66. Like I ride this bike. I ride it a lot. You? Yeah, it's me. And then, yeah, we did the hair scrambles, which was just bahan out through fields, hitting the jackrabbit holes or something
Jackrabbit
out in
holes,
the
yeah.
field. There was the hill climb, and then there was jumps up over cars and like zigzagging through a junkyard, and it was bananas. And then
I
and
love
then
that.
the beer can alley, like where people in the crowd would throw cans of beer, like some of them full, like you would get hit with stuff as you're going through, and like it was so much fun. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my life. It was
You are my hero, I swear. When you told me that, I was just like, I can't believe this. So you did Jackpine, but you ice race,
yes.
right?
Yep.
There's a picture of you ice racing there.
Mean Mama.
I love that. She's like, get out of my way, I'll kick your ass.
I got no brakes. When I race, I don't have brakes. So it's
right. Now, and you also this picture just absolutely floored me because this is a Sons of Speed photo. And like, that's a pink motorcycle, right?
It is.
I love it. That's so me. I'm the same way. It's like, yep. Now, see, that's what I mean about you are perfect to be a motor maid because you got all of it. You are the whole boat. There's no bullshit. And then you race in Wasion. I believe this one you took a trophy in Wasion. Is that the correct location for that?
I'm having a hard time seeing. What did
it's small.
Well, if I was on 55, that was my street bike, I probably didn't do that at Wasion. Wasion, I'm stuck with my 45s. That is hard. Oh, I wonder if that's field games. Oh no, you know what that is? That's Kevin's event.
Okay.
Up in St. Paul.
St. Paul. And then this one here.
Oh, that was the hair scrambles. I was trying to go and find a quiet spot where nobody would see me because I was getting beat up so bad by the jackrabbit holes. I found like a clump of weeds. I thought I was gonna hide.
Oh my!
There was already somebody hiding. I'm like, dude, but are you okay? He's like, I'm fine. A picture with you. He's like, yeah, that's cool. He's like, I hurt so bad. Like,
that is too much.
Like, yeah, that's I'm embarrassed now.
You were tearing it up in Sturgis too, though. You played some of the field games on Vintage Day. I have to say, I really had fun. We did have Sturgis fun together. I got to see Boots, so that was cool. And we got our picture together. Oh, there it is, right there. That's us.
She's so cute. I love her curls.
Thing one might work out here. He's doing a pretty good job. No hands. This is pretty good. So, all right, that's awesome. I absolutely love it. And okay, we are going to go ahead and get on with some questions. Okay. So, any shameless plugs you want to give us? What's up? What are you doing next? What do you got going on?
I have an idea, and I'm kind of playing with it after talking to people out in Sturgis. A couple of things got floated by me that people were interested in seeing more of, and I think I may be able to figure it out. There's some tech stuff that I got to figure out, but my daughters today helped me create a website at www.fastcycles.com.
Awesome.
So if you get in there, get on the sign up on the emailing list. That's what I'm told, right, Viv? Get in on the email list, and then we'll let you know when the rest of this stuff is starting to come and when it's starting to happen. But I'm really, really excited about it. I think it's going to be super cool.
Anything we can help promote, you just let me know. We will talk about it here for sure. And I'm still working on that job there. Crew chief there. So. I'm ready anytime.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. It'll be fun. Anytime. It'll be so much fun.
Good. All right. So we're going to ask the questions now. So First question is, how long have you been riding?
I had to go back through my Instagram. I guess if you look at our Instagram, we're at Fast Cycles. If you go through our Instagram, you can see my journey, I guess you'd call it. You can see me learning to ride. You can see all of the different things that I've done to become a more proficient rider, and I feel confident that it has worked. Like I think we picked up a dirt bike for me back in probably 2017, and I did a summer of beating that thing around in the fields, and then that winter we put screws in the tires and we ice raced it, and we took a few bikes out at the same time, so I got the feel of being passed and like people getting close to you and all of the hairy stuff that'll happen on the road. And then I got a Sportster, rode that for a couple of months. I'm like, nah, no thank you. So then that winter my husband and I got looking at what worked for me and what didn't, where physically, where am I strong and where am I weak, and how do we get around these things, because I'm 5'1", and like there's stuff. So that my knucklehead that I'm my daily rider right now, that's the perfect fit for what makes me tick. I love it.
You rock that motorcycle. I swear that you two are, it's the two of you become one. I watched you on that thing. It's I don't know. I'm like kind of like when you have horses, there's certain people who they'll have horses. If the horses don't perform, they get rid of them. They get a horse that performs. You're more like me. Once you're my horse, and we're family, and that's just how it goes. And you become a family, and you can see it. It's super cool.
Yeah.
And yes, she did say that 2017. This woman is fierce. She's not.
I've been after it.
Yeah, and I love that because after you have kids and you do all the stuff, it's like wow, like time just goes, and you're like, what in the heck happened here? All of a sudden, they don't need you anymore. They don't need anything anymore. They're doing things, and then you have to figure out what you're doing, and that was the perfect thing for you to do.
It really was, and like my husband and I had started out like, okay, so there's going to be an opening in our lives where we won't have aged out of motorcycle, because people age out of motorcycle. It just happens. So, like there was a window in between raising babies and, being old, and I'm not quite ready to be old yet. So here I am. I'm just going to, if it's on two wheels, I'm just going to tear it up and go do it,
That's right.
I'm living my best life.
and again, for a lot of people who don't know, you guys, Fast Cycles, you do parts. You have all kinds of parts. So that's definitely something you guys were doing years before you even started riding.
Yep. And I mean, like we've built a motorcycle collection. We've built multiple motorcycles. Like we've built this life, and all of a sudden we kind of got to a point where like, are you ready? Yes. Yeah. Let's move in. Like, we've got this. Let's do it. So here we are.
That's a fantastic way to start out, though. Like, you learned the true appreciation of what it takes to put all that together and make it what it is. So, all right. Did she freeze on me? Are you frozen? All right. Give us a second. We're going to get to the next questions. Miss Jenny. So Jenny is, like I said, a rider and a racer. She is a mom. She's a wife. She is a badass. She rides all over the place. It's incredible to watch her race. She's gaining speed. Lots of fans. If you guys get an opportunity, anytime you get an opportunity to see her race, see her out, just talk to her. She's an absolute wonderful person to hang out with. And yeah, we're just, how internet connection is. She lives way up in northern Wisconsin, out where, like, yeah, I'm sure it's a little difficult sometimes. I like, though, that she froze right as her eyes closed. So we'll show some pictures of Miss Jenny. Let's show her some more pictures of her racing or something. Thing one's doing good. He's scrolling through the photos. I'm looking at them. This is pretty neat. So, like, yeah, we have somewhere in there's race pictures. I like the black and white one. You could show that one again. That one's super cool. And then maybe we'll find her. Maybe she'll come back. That's out in front of the Sturgis Motorcycle Museum. What a great time Sturgis was this year. Again, anytime you get a chance to follow the Cycle Source events, we did the lead sled Sportster shootout. My friends were literally playing in the dirt. And then I went and watched them play on the drag strip, which, if you've ever seen your friends play motorcycles, it's a whole different than motorcycling or building motorcycles or working in the shop. Those boys and girls all lined up and went again and again and again just to go down the track, one right after another. It was really, really cool. And that's what she does. So she races too. So, and I believe we got her back. Yeah, she's unfrozen. Yay, here we go. All right, we'll bring her back in. All right. And we'll go back to our here comes my hubby. Come here, you could come in. We'll let you. Say hi. Come in and wave.
Hi.
No, at the camera. Come in and wave. Hi, Miss Jenny.
Is this Don?
Yeah, if you get, he'll stick his head in there. There he is. That's Don.
Dude, that's not creepy at all.
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah. All right. So we're getting back to our questions. No.
Sorry, what else?
No,
We're on
please.
standby.
I keep trying to tell him that.
Tacos are up.
Go.
Tacos
Yeah.
are up.
Tacos are, yeah, he's craft services. So he signed a contract once to be my producer, but he decided that pushing computer buttons was not his thing. So that's how we got thing one. Greg, he's the neighbor across the street. And Don feeds us all. So we're working it out. We're bartering it. So he's craft services. This is the production department. And I'm the host. And you are our lovely guest tonight. Oh my God. It's too much.
Oh shoot.
All right. So how long have you been technically racing then? 3-4 years or?
So I again, I had to look back on Instagram. In 2017, I did dirt bike. 2018, I got on the street, and then in that winter, I started riding my bike, which that puts us in 2019. So,
Okay.
mid riding season of 2019, a friend of ours reached out and was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing this weekend? Are you going to go to Azzy?" And I'm like, "Well, literally, what is Azzy?" So Aslan Motorcycle Club has dirt track races, AMA races, and invited us to a hand shift class. So got out, did a few turns around. They came and talked to us about our safety gear, or rather lack thereof.
Back there.
Like, somebody was out there in tennis shoes. Yeah, that was, yeah. Okay, so they're like, no more of that.
Right.
So, we have since invested in really good helmets and, like boots and leathers and, the whole thing. And then, we're taking on different surfaces, which we've done. We've done dirt track. I've done cushion. We've done ice. We've done pavement, which is the Sons of Speed. Trying to think what else. I think that may be it. Oh, clay. Pardon? Sand. Yep, we did trogs. So we've done sand, beaches. You name it. I'm just gonna go and try and see what I can do. Every surface is a little bit different, and it's fun, and it makes for cool pictures.
It does. And so, and that's where you inspire other young ladies too, older ladies too, whatever, to get out there and do it, because again, it's something that of course there's ups and there's downs. I'm sure you've hit the ground more than a few times too. That goes without saying. That's part of it. Most people think, oh, I'm going to get out there and race, but you got to be able to tuck and roll when you can.
Yeah. I probably the worst of it was when I hit my husband. That was hard. It was really hard.
You said what this morning, honey?
Yeah. Well, people are soft when you hit them. And,
yes.
And that was kind of like one of the craziest things. After it all settled down, there was so it's a lot of it is me and a bunch of like 7-year-olds who are learning to ride, like we're all kind of at the same, these little girls. I'm like, did you realize how soft bodies are when you run them over? They're like, oh yeah, you'll get over that. I'm like,
you'll get over that.
Really? Like, oh yeah, by next summer you'll be fine.
Oh
okay.
my, could you imagine? Yeah. It's like you got a long way to go, kid.
Yeah, I'm like, no shit. Okay.
Shit.
But yeah, I've been twirled around and thrown off backwards and bounced off my head, and I'm not 19 anymore, so it takes a minute to come back from that, but we're good.
But you get back up and you go again, which is the coolest part, because that's just that's a true passion, something that you love to do. And you do it when you want to do it and you enjoy it, and that's what it's all about. Some days I'm sure you're just like, yeah, not today. I'm good. I'll skip it.
You know what? Today I'm just gonna go slow and in circles. Maybe tomorrow I might put some pressure on you, and like get you on the outside. Like maybe we'll mix it up. But today we're just going in circles. That's fine.
And if you guys go to @BathCycles and you see some of the videos, like even the Jackpine Hill, and Eric was doing the roundy rounds, and they were going up and around, and oh my god, I was getting nauseous watching him. It was like, yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. All right, so our next question is your favorite rides. What's your favorite motorcycle to ride, and what's your favorite route you've ever ridden?
My favorite bike, of course, is my ride or die Ruby, my 46 knucklehead. Like she and I, we're forever friends. That's my favorite bike. Favorite ride, I have not taken her on yet. I was a passenger on the back of Eric's yellow 38. We went through Custer National Park one year, and it's absolutely stunning. But we were there the week before rally, before things got crazy and congested, and a lot of people. And I'm sure when you're on an old motorcycle, too many motorcycles in the same spot and too much traffic and whatever, kind of a kryptonite type thing. And so hopefully we can get out there other than rally week. And I'd love to do that ride, as a rider for,
So that's, and you're looking forward to that, I'm sure.
I really am.
Eric, take it easy on the honeymoon parts, though, because you know how it gets.
Well, you know how that gets. It's hard.
I swear. And when I tell you, Miss Jenny's husband, Eric, he's the kindest soul. I would hate to piss him off because he's really a sweetheart. So then those are the type that, you make him mad. It's really bad. But he stayed back. He knew it was all Chick's thing. And because she started the day that we left, she decided to go. I know Miss Chris Summer Simmons was telling you about it prior to, and you're like, okay, why the hell not? So in November's issue of Easy Riders, you can read my article, and it talks about Eric and some of the other guys. We had our own little man vans, but Miss Jenny got to bring her own van and her own man, so it was really cool. And it was so neat because he stayed back, and I think like at day 8 or 9, I had to go pound on the door and say, come out, Eric, you need to come out here. I was like, that's it, you have to come hang out. But I was like, are you getting some? And he's like, because I said, none of us are. And he's like, well, you guys are rough on the honeymoon parts with that rigid frame. I was like, yeah, okay, thanks a lot. And I was going to live vicariously through you after like day 9. I was like, man, not fair.
There's definitely a solution to making things less rough. It's totally a cool breakfast conversation, I will tell you.
I'm learning so much from my cool chick friends. I am lucky to have cool chick friends. I picked up on that note, just so you know. I took care of that.
Oh, yes. What color?
Clear.
Yes.
Clear. We better change the subject. Okay. I have cool chick friends. That's all I can say. That's it. All right. So what is your absolute favorite song?
My absolute favorite song is Kenny Chesney's Anything But Mine.
Oh, I like that.
That's a good one. It's like streaming while we're sitting in the bathtub. And my hair.
Again, cool chick friends. There's the group. I got the cotter pin tattoo. I don't know if you can see it. I got it tattooed on there. It's a little,
that's so cute.
Yeah, probably gonna put a nut, or I don't know. I'm gonna write something on. I haven't decided. I started with that. So, all
Good
right.
job.
Who is your childhood hero and why?
Oh, my childhood hero. Okay, so here I'm going to age myself, and I'm going to seem like such a dork. But remember Happy Days, right?
Yeah.
Happy Days. Remember the Fonz? You know, he's the coolest guy on TV when you're 7 or whatever.
Yes.
So the only girlfriend he actually had. Do you remember her?
Pinky
Pinky
Tuscadero.
Tuscadero.
Oh yeah.
Yes, she worked
Yeah.
at a competing mechanic. I don't know. Like, do you remember how they offed her? I felt so bad. Like they never got a chance to develop that character. Nope. I was so disappointed because she was my spirit animal. Freaking Pinky Tuscadero.
So at the Biker Bells, you met Laura Clock. You get to talk to Laura Clock at all?
Okay. So that's my secret shame. Like Biker Bells, there's so many amazing women, and I just sitting there like a lump, like, oh my god, I can't believe it's
so Laura is family, and she was one of my first guests, and Pinky Tuscadero was on her list. You two are gonna, and I love Laura. Laura and I have the same. We're born a day apart, the same year, so like we have this parallel thing. But you and her.
I thought it was pulling Pinky Tuscadero.
I can't wait. I cannot wait for the 2 years.
Okay.
Listen, she bought Daisy Duke's boots at auction. So like from the Dukes of Hazzard, she has the boots that Catherine.
Was she wearing the porta potty while she was rebuilding the carburetor?
Yeah, those boots. She owns them, so you guys are gonna get along so good. I can't wait for us to all get together.
Oh
That's
my god,
awesome. Okay, so who is your motorcycle hero and why?
So my motorcycle hero is Lydia Brule. Are you familiar? So this is somebody that I know from Hustle and Parts for years and years. Her husband had Bob's Harley Davidson, but Bob was the salesman. Bob was he was the racer. He was always the front man on their organization. But behind Bob was Lydia. And Lydia can tell you parts off the shelf that are interchangeable. They have like 4 different part numbers, but it's the exact same spring, tension. Was a walking encyclopedia. She could go straight back into the back room and pull she worked that dealership, and she did it tirelessly and silently in the background, and she was never out front and like, here's Lydia. That was never it. She was always in the background and making everything that he did look like it ran seamlessly and smoothly. So I guess at the end of the day, she's 100% my hero.
That's awesome. I have we had she's a sister motor maid now. I talked her into it, but Murphy, she used to work at the dealership here, and she was the same way. Miss Gypsy, the same thing. She worked in the dealership, could tell you all the parts, just incredible. And we can remember things way past certain age that men start to forget things. So pretty good. That's cool.
Lydia was a motor maid too.
See, lots of good motor maids. I'm still knocking on that door. I'm getting it. Miss Sharon joined, so
I saw that. I'm so happy for her. That was on her list of things to do before she even went on the Chicks Ride. She was already in the process.
Ready for that.
Right. I'm proud of her.
And I would like to sometime get some more information about Lydia. We'll feature a little something about her because I think that's super cool. I think it would need a little bit of history. So, okay, next question. What's your favorite road food?
Okay. Road food. Like if we are actually driving and en route, like the thing that we keep in the car are those cinnamon bears, the cinnamon gummy bears. Those things are awesome and they're stuck in your teeth. They're awesome.
I love it.
If we are going places, one of my favorite things to do, because motorcycle goes in the same circles year after year. So you get a chance to, we've been doing it for 30 years. So you get a chance to really explore the menus on all of the local places that are open after 8:30.
Yes.
So one of the things that I noticed that you'll find is every menu in an area has one weird thing on it that is just odd. I guess like Denver has green chili. That everybody brags about having the best green chili. And so I will test it and see like who actually does have the best green chili. Because I want to know, inquiring minds, you know.
Right.
I hear there's some like chili competition thing, like two restaurants are battling over like chili making. It's in Ohio, some town in Ohio. I'm determined to go and find out who has actually the best chili.
The best
The
chili.
further south you get is barbecue. You know, like we just kind of like what's called for bragging rights here. Like I'm in.
Right. And are you a mom and pops kind of place? Like stop at all the mom and pops restaurants.
I try.
Most of us are.
Yeah, you can
Unless you get like if you get 3 strikes, like you stopped 3 times and it was all bad, it's time to stop at a Longhorn.
Maybe a Red Lobster. Or
right? Red
good,
Lobster,
you know.
yeah. never eat the surf in the middle of the country though, you know.
Nope. For the closer to the coast you get, the better off you are.
And
we had that bite us once. We had that bite us once. It was the strangest thing. It was like oysters. We thought that we would be totally fine out on the West Coast. Up in Oregon, we're in Portland, and we got the oysters, and that was a fail. It was so
good.
Strange.
Anytime, especially when it's snowing up there, when you guys want to come down, South Florida.
We'll see you at Bike Week this spring.
Yes, for Bike Week. I'll definitely be there if you're going to be there. So, all right.
Go to the deck down under?
The deck down under?
Yes.
I haven't been there.
In Daytona?
Mm-mm.
No?
Maybe they might call it something else, and I know it is. The first time I was in Daytona was 84. That was my first Bike Week.
Wow. Okay. I think ours was like 97, 98. Kind of yeah. So you got a couple of years in on people, like, just
a decade or so. It's all good. But I'll give you that. I was 15 when it was my first.
Oh, no, we're in our 20s, young and dumb, living in our van for a week.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Listen, that was fun, though. We always had good times like that. And then we had to, grow up, be responsible because we had kids and all that stuff.
No, we took our kids with us. We were tent camping. Like the ants ate everybody, and then we had sun poisoning. It was just this joke.
Oh, I love it. I love it. See, and that you can't make that shit up. It doesn't matter. You just can't. People are like, really? It's like, yeah, no, you can't make this up. I promise. It really happened. And then you talk to certain people like yourself, or even like Barry and Gypsy, it'll be the same thing. And it's like, yeah. I totally believe you because I have shit like that happen to me all the time, and you can't make that shit up at all.
Right. Oh, so. No. We've got people who will still come up and talk to us about how we would take a cooler, and throw ice and drinks in it, and Florida heat, it would start melting, and the kids were getting hot and antsy, and like we've sat in the same spot for way too long, and we would end up just opening the lid of the cooler and letting them like dig in the cooler, and it would just turn into mud and like gross. One time there was a sandwich that was in there and just got like obliterated it was the most disgusting thing. And then you add that to the sun, you're like it was horrible. People are like, you're the ones with the kids in the cooler. Yep.
Oh my God. Yeah. And be careful, because if it gets much dirtier, we're gonna let them bathe in it next. So yeah.
Oh, we did a thing we would do a thing with a watermelon. You take the kids, and just you cut a watermelon in half and just set them loose in their swimsuits and just let them, dig in. And that stuff, after sitting in the Florida sun all day, like they would just be covered in this sticky goo.
Oh, yeah.
The mud. It was just like, your kids.
My mom said growing up, that's why it was tomatoes. Tomato and the salt shaker. If you wanted something, you were hungry, she'd hand you a tomato and a salt shaker. That's what you got. And the garden hose, you drank out of the garden hose. You did.
And even though it tasted weird, that was awesome.
Yeah. And if you were lucky, some kid up the street's mom was making Kool-Aid. And you were like, oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Maybe you get the stuff in the bottom that had all the extra sugar. Like,
all the extra. Yeah. Exactly. Wait for the last cup. That's so bad. That's too bad. All right. So this is a good one. So you get 2 choices, because every time I ask, everybody's like, I couldn't pick one. So what is your 2 most cherished motorcycle memories?
Okay. First and foremost, and probably the most important moment in my life of motorcycle would have been the first time that I was able to kickstart my bike. Like it's and I watched Sharon do it, and I guarantee you for 20 years from now she'll be like, no, that was the best. It's always when you conquer the kickstart, it's like magic. Like,
I feel a new T-shirt coming on there. We're gonna have to have Bass Cycles conquer the kick. I might do one for Vagabond conquer the kick. We'll have to do regional shirts, like everybody get them.
I came up with another one this weekend. Oh, how did it go? You can't sweat the petty stuff if you want to pet the sweaty stuff.
Yeah, don't sweat the petty things, pet the sweaty things. Yeah,
that's right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But only women like us really get that. So most women go, ooh, gross. So you know. But
it's 100 degrees out in Sturgis. Really? Come on.
Like, we were in Sturgis, and I had girls going by me, and they're like, God, these guys stink. And I'm like, wow. Like, it smells like man everywhere you go. That's not stink. But I don't know. We don't have a term
man and barbecue. What do you want?
Right. That's Sturgis. It's bike week. It's like you're digging in the dirt. That's what we're doing. So that's too funny. All right. And then the other one.
The other one. So here I'm going to drop names.
Yay.
So here we go. All right. Sons of Speed. So in the riders meeting at Sons of Speed, they started, and I thought I was running really slow going out in my practice laps the day before. And whenever you go on a new type of track, like the controls, the things that make you do the circles properly and quickly are all different no matter what the track is and depending on the day and the weather and whatever. So I was going pretty slow coming around the track. I just trying to figure out how to make it work. So the next morning when they're in riders meeting, they're like, okay, so here we go. Lap traffic. Lap traffic is where it's getting really, really dangerous because you have people like Chris Callan who have done that race, 10, 12 years in a row, and they're freaking fast. And they're, they just going through and they're just carrying around. And yeah. So then they'll be coming through the corners, and I like to stay in my line and just kind of ride it and get the feel, and I'm trying to figure out the controls. And in the meantime, you got going through on board trackers, and nobody's got brakes, and you're all doing this thing, and it just feels insane, right? So they started, they're like, okay, everybody's going to start out at the same spot, and eventually you get lap traffic. And if you see this flag, this means you're getting lapped. And it means hold tight and get the fuck out of the way. I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. Like they're gonna tell me I can't race. They're gonna ask me not to go in and be dangerous for other people. I'm like, I can see it coming, and I'm like, So I'm all freaking out, and so I'm expecting things to implode and my day to be over, and so the first actual race happens, right? So Eric gets my bike started for me because it's a fresh motor and I can't get the stupid thing started myself. So I get out in the chute and, because they're calling my class. So I get out there, and what they had told you after the whole, this is the flag, that means get the fuck out of the way. What they said was now after that, there's going to be this line at the end of the chute, and everybody's going to sit there until you're all group, and then you're going to go out in a group. But I was so hung up thinking I'm gonna get kicked out of here with the lap traffic thing. I don't know. I guess I didn't hear it. I didn't press. My bad. So I get out to the end of the chute and I just flew right through, and I'm like, I'm out of drag. And I'm like, where is everybody? Why is nobody out here? I'm going, and I can hear Jackie Van Ham, and there goes Jenny Bass, and I'm like, oh shit. But what the crazy part about it is that Billy Lane had gone live on Instagram. So he's all on Instagram, and there I go, and he's all like, where is everybody? Why is nobody out there with her? What is she doing out there? Eric's like, I'm sorry, man. I can't get her to come back in. I'm like, where is everybody? And in the meantime, he's going down everything he can think of. He's like, she's burning off extra fuel. She's warming up her tank. Like, he's just going through this list of any and everything
Oh my God.
Poor guy.
Oh.
He's like shitting himself. He's like, why is nobody else out there? Get out there. So anyway, yeah, that was a great.
That's
And he had every opportunity to be like, what is this dumb girl doing? Like she can't get her stuff, and she's just like, and he was just like, no, she's burning off extra fuel, and she's supposed to be out there. Like, where is everybody? I was like, oh yeah, no, she's fine. Like, oh, that guy is such a gentleman. Like he totally like handled it. Like he had every opportunity.
He'll never forget your name ever.
Everybody in the stands like, there she goes again.
There she goes.
There she goes. And it's Jenny Man. It was so embarrassing. And afterwards, Eric's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I was out there. How do you get back in once you're out?
Oh my God.
The stands are full. Like, you see the big sea of yellow shirts. Like, you got all the hamsters.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even kidding. It was like the dumbest thing.
I can see Eric too. Like, what?
And there goes Jenny Bass. Jenny. Oh, yeah. What's going on? I got dumb.
Oh my God. That's too much. You are absolutely the shit. I adore you. You are just that's why I love hanging out with you. So anybody who even cares to know, when we hang out, this is how it is all the time. And we just have fun. It gets a little raunchy sometimes when we're alone. There's not people watching and stuff, but we have some good conversations. Yes, women are way worse than men. I don't care what you say. Okay. All right. So if money didn't matter, and you could take a road trip on your motorcycle with anyone, anywhere, where would you go and who would it be with?
Well, of course, it'd be my husband, because he is my favorite. He's fantastic. So what I'm finding, and people have talked about motorcycle for years, and I haven't heard any one specific thing that I'd be like, oh, I have to do that. Because I guess in my mind, I've always listened to stories, and I thought that it was just beautiful and wonderful and exciting that other people got to do it. And somehow in my head, I never put myself in that spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never imagined that I would learn to ride, and let alone be able to do these big, long trips or whatever. So I guess I want to be greedy, and I want to do all 50 states. I want to do kind of like the AMCA road run style. I want to like hit events and do, what are the local favorite roads to ride on? Like, I want to taste it all. I want to do it all,
That's an absolute.
I would love to be able to brag to say I did all 50 states.
That is a perfect answer, because really, honestly, and we have sister motormaids. One of our sister motormaids, Deb, she did 48 states in 48 days.
Oh,
for her,
I don't want to do a timeline. I want to spend like 2 or 3 years doing it.
But it was for her 48th birthday, so the digits were all together. Cool. So, oh look, I'm gonna be all professional. I'm no hands, so I can read these comments. Whitney Meza, and Dennis Stauber. Hi, how are you? Nice to talk to you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate that. I love that answer. That's perfect. And yeah, you should take
I just want to be greedy. I'm gonna do it all.
But why not? You have a zest for life. That's what's important. That's the most important thing. Okay, so tonight's viewer question was, do I ride anything other than a Harley Davidson? And I kind of gave my answer. What's your thought on that? Do you ride anything other than Harley Davidson?
I have, the dirt bike.
You have Indians?
I had a Vespa. I took a Vespa around a parking lot a couple of times, and I took it down to the 4th of July car show. But it's not really set up for, we're in the country. So you want to be able to get up some real speed where we're not just flooding around town. So that was not an ideal motorcycle for me. I haven't really tried other brands. I've heard things. I've heard that, like Indiana's lightweight and, nimble. I've heard things. People try to share the things that they love about their motorcycles. And I'm open to it now that I'm like riding. I'd love to
Right?
try it all. I just, again, I want to taste it all. I want to try it.
That's good. And that's an excellent answer. All right. So we're going to do the next thing is tell us something good about yourself that other people may not know. That's always a hard one.
It is. It is. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to the kids. So what I came up with is, you may or may not know, I don't come from motorcycle. I didn't grow up in a house where there were motorcycles. I didn't grow up in a family where there were motorcycles. It just that is not at all part of my identity growing up. When I was 18, 19, I worked in a bookstore because I was a bookish girl, so I'm reading motorcycle magazines in my spare time. Because like, oh, I'm gonna take this on break. I go look. It's like I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So like I was reading In the Wind, the Easy Riders, the AMA. Like the stuff on the newsstands, the American Iron, like all of the biker. I was reading those in my spare time. And there was one person in town, somewhat my age, even close to my age, that was also reading the same thing. And I ended up married to that boy, So
How long have you guys been married?
Married since 96, like 20, a long time.
A long time.
A long time.
Dated.
We've been together like 30 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you guys are anybody when you guys see them out in the world, you'll know. Yeah, they figured it out. And they definitely I'll be like, Eric, where's Jenny? He goes, she just rode by. I'm hoping she comes back. And I'm like, are you a good boy? And he goes, I was very good, so I'm hoping she comes back. He's so sweet.
He's like, in hindsight, maybe I didn't reiterate that I was making this stop. And I'm like, you're sitting there telling me that you're pissed because you keep losing me at every stop sign. So I'm ahead of him at every stop sign, and then he's gone. I'm like,
he's standing there waiting for you. I'm like, well, hopefully she didn't go out to the one on County Line, Maybe she just kept going. Maybe she was just having a nice ride, said I'll be back in 5 minutes. You didn't hear her.
Well, we share our locations on our phone. It's a lot less like stressful and anxiety ridden, like she disappeared. Like, no, I can just find her.
I might have to try that because he's always like, where'd you go? What are you doing? If he could just track me, he'd probably be better.
Yeah, you can see me on a map. It's just like, click, how do I get there? It's pretty awesome.
Tony Pan does that with his wife because she travels all over. Miss Vicky Sanfilippo, she does accident scene management and she gives courses. And she travels, and he watches her on his phone. I thought it was pretty cool.
Oh, we started doing it on the Chicks Ride, and it was so funny because we would stop. So everybody needs a drink and gas, and we would stop, and then Sharon's phone would start ringing. And she's like, it's my husband. You can see that we stopped. It was so cute. Oh, my gosh. The world is a way safer place with this sharing location thing. It's pretty
Definitely. I like that part of the technology, but, I was a little bummed out when I was almost out of gas on the Chicks on 66 and the screen came up and said, you're almost out of fuel. Would you like me to find a fuel location for you? And I'm like, what? The motorcycle's talking to me. No. Stop.
Old school. Just find one. Right?
Right? Little sign on the road. The signs, the app. Let's follow the app. It's written on the road and it's written on the sign on the pole. Route 66, the app.
Yeah, we did that. And one of those places that we found was like, it was abandoned. There were bars over the windows. The pumps were still kind of sitting at the station, but they were gutted and it got crazy. Oh my gosh. Help.
Cindy Messmer just wrote in. She said, hi girls, thanks for making me laugh tonight after a crazy work day. I took my still dirty panhead out yesterday. Still running strong. Miss you both.
I love Cindy. Cindy posted a video of her and Russell riding. Was it last week? And I got so excited. I'm like, yes, she's doing it. I think the world needs to see more women on old motorcycles. I think they need to see it. It's so cool. It's so cool. I'm so proud of Cindy. Yay.
Yeah, and I mentioned her also in the article, and hopefully hopefully they didn't edit it all too bad. It'll be out in November's issue of Easy Riders, but I think it'll be good. I wrote it as the Greasy Girls version, the mechanics perspective. So we'll see how it turns out. All right, so now you get to give us your 5 good things. Tell us your 5 good
Good
things.
things. Well, I am grateful to the motorcycle community as a whole. We have everything that we are, everything that we've done, everything that we have. I've put my kids through college. Like every bit of it is, thanks to the motorcycle community and people who are spending $5 and $10 at swap meets, are purchasing parts on eBay. Every bit of it, we've been able to turn into this life that we love, and I'm eternally grateful. And I know where every bit of it came from, and like I said, I'm grateful, eternally grateful.
Which
Um,
one?
Number 2 is I'm grateful to motorcycle um, environment, I guess, for nurturing me. I watch my youngest daughter has kind of a view attitude towards life, and I think that in time that she will grow into it. And I hope that she finds something that fits her as well as motorcycle fit me. And you know what I'm saying? I hope that she
Yeah,
finds that fit. And I'm again eternally grateful to motorcycle for being open and nurturing that type of energy and keeping it clean and keeping it real. I love
definitely.
that. Um, I'm grateful for my family and my kids who are enthusiastic and supportive of everything that we've done. They surfed a lot of couches growing up while we were on the road,
Right?
and kept their shit straight, and made it so that we could go and do the thing that we need to do to to make it happen. I'm grateful to social media and people like Athena with shows like this
Oh,
who are giving me a platform to share my voice and to show how grateful I am and to show what I'm doing. Hopefully, we can, as a group, bring more women in to ride
definitely.
vintage motorcycles and nurture that in the community, is
Most
what I'm
definitely.
hopeful for. And most of all, I'm grateful to my husband for being my partner, my protector, my mentor, and my spiritual guide.
I
I
love that. I think that's amazing. And uh, what you say about more women coming in and riding vintage bikes, a lot of women that ride motorcycles don't know that there are um, people who sponsor to go on some of these vintage rides. If you've never ridden a vintage motorcycle and you want to, there's programs where they'll actually sponsor you and give you a motorcycle and give you an opportunity to do these rides, and like the mini chase and the cannonball,
That
things
would be
like that.
fantastic. I mean, I know what we
Yes.
had to do to get us together to do that,
Yeah,
and
it's a lot.
it's huge. It's incredible. It's incredible. I These programs, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. It's important.
It's
The
it
hobby
very
that
very much is. And Chris Summer Simmons, like she even said, she's like, "Well, you want to ride in 2023?" And I'm like, "Oh, like of course. Like who doesn't?" I Okay, but when I started with her on the Cannonball, I total loss oil system vintage bike, whatever. I was around great motorcycle people, Steve Hunsinger, Dale Waxler. I mean, just the things that I learned and the appreciation that I gained from it. I There's no way. I know where I come from now. I know the history to all of it. I know how all of it works, and it's really cool because it shows you the evolution of it all, along with the evolution of our lifestyle. So
yeah,
much has moved forward, and like you said, to bring more women in to the fray
mhm.
and show them that we've been doing it a long time, but we do it because of the camaraderie and the respect and the love for one another. And it is cool to have women around, but I think a lot of times, sometimes they overlook the fact that we're around a lot of wonderful men too, and they
Agreed.
support us, and
Agreed. Agreed.
they
Agreed.
make it possible. I mean, I know that they'll say to you, "Come on, have you done this race?" And you're like, "Me, with you guys." Okay, not yet, but I'm in. So and that's
Yeah.
that's what
What
they
do I
do.
need to know? What do I need to do? And you know, like I said, and then you get someone who, like Billy Lane, was like, no, she's fine. Get more people out there.
Awesome.
Like, she's fine. You know, it's so wonderful. It's so wonderful.
Yeah, and he is a
inspired
kind-hearted
by it.
individual.
And he's not the only one. You know what I'm saying? Just that he's a beautiful example of that. And I'm
Yes.
excited that he's, you know, raising little girls in this environment. And I think that maybe he's creating something for them down the road to move
Most
into
definitely.
themselves, you know? It's awesome.
Yeah. And there's lots of them. Chris Callen, Steve Broyles. There's so many of them that, and they're just all supportive, you know. So we're lucky like that. Well, I can't thank you enough. I appreciate you being here. I can't wait to see you again. You know, I absolutely adore you.
Aw,
And
you too.
please give Eric, give him a big old hug for me.
Will
Tell him
do.
come out of the room now.
He's probably eating Taco Bell or something.
I love it. Dawn's making tacos. I can smell it. I'm just like, okay. Myself and Greg, thing one over here, we're just like, yeah, okay, we're ready for dinner now. Craft services, let's go. So that's super cool. Well, I will talk to you soon. Tell your daughter I said thank you for helping you with that.
We'll do.
And we will have you again on sometime soon. Maybe when we do a couples version, we'll bring you and Eric on, and we'll get couples.
So
we're gonna do that.
We'll do.
I love you. Thank you so much. All right.
Bye.
I'll talk to you later. Okay. So Miss Jenny Bass, I told you she's so super cool. We all love her. She is fantastic and fun, and we just have a good time, as you can tell, right? Cindy was laughing, so that's absolutely fantastic. And I'm glad that, you know, the new viewers, Dennis Stauber, I'm glad that you decided to tune in and you stumbled across it too. We're here Monday night, 10 o'clock Eastern. We're a little over. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my 5 good things. Let's just go ahead and do it. And we'll just say, okay. So first thing is learning new things while I'm working hard, seeing old friends and making new ones, all while riding motorcycles. That was Sturgis for me. It was fantastic, and I'm definitely grateful. Number 2 is definitely that I'm blessed to have been able to share in the ceremony at the Biker Bells for my friend, Christine Summer Simmons, and so many amazing women. To be in their company and their presence was just beyond. I can't even put it into words. Tears. Myself and Karen Davidson, we cried tears. Laura too, but she was talking, so she held her composure pretty good. I found a new love for watching my friends play motorcycles. When I say play motorcycles, if you'd have seen these gentlemen and ladies at the Baker drag races on Wednesday in Sturgis, they literally lined up, like I said, and they took turns. And then they go, I want to race against you. I want to race. And it went all through the night. And it was so much fun, and the big cheese and smiles all over them. And then I got to see Rocky and Walter Rockstone Racing, and they did a Nitro Harley pass for us, and that was excellent. I really enjoyed that. So that was really good. Number 4, my grandson Baron. He started school this week. He's the amazing joy in my life. My kids are grown. I do love them with all my heart, but this kid gets the heart, lungs, and every other organ that I have. That's for sure. And then, of course, being right here, right now, doing this little show with you guys. I appreciate you all tuning in. So don't forget, I did have an afterthought today. I wasn't going to do it, but I'll go ahead and give it to you. Might as well. So perspective. If you stop for a hot minute when there's an opportunity and look at things from a different perspective, it gives cause to evaluate choices. Some you've made and others you need to make. Life seems to be about choices, and the path that you end up on is determined by those choices. Everybody knows exactly what I mean by that, I'm sure. So my thought on this is putting on your strategic hat. I've had to do this. It's something that I've learned, and I think it's working for me. So if I can pass it on, there has to be a plan, and that usually requires a strategy to obtain the goal, whatever the goal is. So to me, it seems like a new perspective is like walking in someone else's shoes before you make assumptions or judgments. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Honestly, life is what happens to you when you plan other things. It just really is. That's how it goes. So, you know, if you could get to the goal and you're not chasing your tail all the time, it works out. That's what strategy's for. So pretty much remember to smile big with your heart. don't do it for one person or any group. Just do it for yourself and be kind to yourself and others because it matters. So anybody out there too, don't forget to send your 5 good things, any photos, ask Athena questions. You can send it to athenaafterdark@aol.com. I'm working on the website. I've got smoke out coming up, so I've been a little bit busy. We're working on our little studio set and have Greg. Thank you, Greg, Thing One over here, for helping me out doing the production, and Don for being craft services, and Miss Jenny Bass for participating, and all of you out there who are watching now and who will watch this after. I appreciate it. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, after 100 subscribers, we get our own custom name, so we could do Athena After Dark, and that'll be super cool. And then on Facebook at Athena After Dark, and you can follow my shop, Vagabond Choppers, Vagabond Chopper at AOL.com, and then at Vagabond Chopper, and then my personal is Athena Ransom. All right. Well, you guys have a great night. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next week at 10 o'clock, and we'll have another super cool guest.